David Smith here with another flipped classroom math video. A few tips before we get started. Remember, you can always pause the video if you need to catch up with your notes. You can also speed up or slow down the playback if that helps. Finally, you can turn on the captions so you can see my words going by at the bottom of your screen. Today's topic, number sequences. So this is our first lesson in our new chapter. We're going to talk about number sequences. So let's get started. Let's take a look at an example here. I've got 4 people, Beth, and all these people got coins. Beth, Joel, Kevin, and Cindy. So Beth's got 2 coins, Joel has 5, Kevin has 8, and finally Cindy has 11, and so on. So I'm thinking that you could see the pattern here. We could keep going with new people, and you'll notice that we add 3 each time to our sequence of numbers. So these are a sequence. And the definition of a sequence is pretty simple. It's just a number sequence is an ordered list of numbers defined by a rule. And we kind of already talked about that. The rule is add 3 to the last one to get the next one. And it goes on and on that way. The numbers in the sequence are called terms. That's basic definitions. Let's keep going. Okay, number sequences can be described in 3 different ways. The first one is words, the second 2 are formulas. Let's take a look. So, describe it in words. This sequence is formed by starting with 2 and adding 3 each time. That's the sequence we did on the last board. By the way, I put it up here so we can see that sequence. So you can just use it in words. This is a common sense way to describe. Just make sure that your words are accurate. Second way is using an explicit or closed-end formula, which allows us to calculate any term in the sequence. So this is handy because this method, if you wanted to figure out, what's the 20th term in this sequence, you'd have to do it. You'd have to add 3 each time all the way till you got to the 20th term. This method lets you calculate the 20th term directly, or the 10,000th term directly. So let's take a look at how that works. Here's the formula for the sequence that we had over there. Let's take a look at notation. UN means U is standing for the term, N is the nth term. So this tells us the general way to calculate the nth term of a sequence. It's just 3 times n minus 1. So let's test that. Let's test for the third term. So U3 is going to be 3 times 3 for the third term minus 1. 3 times 3 is 9, minus 1 is 8, so yes, it works. Okay, let's look at the third way. This is a recursive formula. So this formula gives the nth term in a sequence by using one or more of the previous terms. So you can't use this formula to go right away to get like the 500th term, but if you know the previous term, you can use this formula to get the next one. So let's take a look at how that works. First, a little notation. Here's U1. That's our first term in our sequence. So this is the sequence that we've been playing with. So U1 is 2. We need to define the first term. Now the nth term, UN, is going to be UN minus 1 plus 3. Now let's unpack that a little bit. UN minus 1 is just the term before UN. Okay? So this is the term before this one. And this is what we know from our sequence. You just take the last term and you add 3 to it to get the next term. And now what we're going to do here is say, this has to be the second term or bigger. Okay, it doesn't work on the first term. In fact, the first term needs to be given to you. So this little caveat here just tells us that we have to use this recursive formula on term 2 or bigger. Okay? And then a notation, or a word about notation. Previously, we've seen sequences noted like this. A sub n for the nth term, A sub 2 for the second term. Now we're using U sub n for the nth term, U sub 2 for the second term. Same thing, just different notations from different textbooks. Now that you've watched the video, take a moment and write down any questions that you might have so you can bring them to our next class. Remember that you can always watch the video again and perfect your notes. Finally, if you enjoyed the video, please click the like button down below. And if you'd like to help me grow my YouTube channel, please click subscribe.